Okay, well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's version of, well, Mary's got it on there, the AI We Care Team uh, Friday Nowsite About Everything meeting that we have every week at this time at 11 a.m. This meeting is being recorded, and it will be posted later on either today or tomorrow on the AI We Care Team.now.site site. And so if you'd like to go back and refer to anything that we talked about this morning, you'll be able to go there and go back and look and see all the great things we shared with you, and we can do some stuff. First of all, I'd like to tip my hat this morning to Ms. Mary Bird for doing an awesome job last night, taking care of the AI We Care team at the June Houston Now Site Nerdapalooza events. Mary, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. The second June with Justin and Cheryl. So we're going to try and make this an annual event with them. So we were so pleased that so many people did turn out and everybody who wanted a shirt. Now, if you still want shirts, we didn't label this Nerdapalooza for a reason, so that you can order your shirts and have that conversation starter should you desire to. Okay. A lot of times, some of us in insurance always see buttons. Ask me about blank, ask me about Medicare, ask me about electricity, ask me about life. This piece of material is a conversation starter. What is the AI We Care team? What are they about? What do you do? Okay. And I crafted a slogan yesterday just on the fly, like, I'm not pre-planning what I'm going to say or how I'm going to deliver it. But AI, we care about how you are marketing your business. Okay, let that sink in. Nobody else in the world cares how you market. They're always in for the take. What's it going to give me? No, what's it going to give you in return? So Justin was very nice and gracious and stood up and did some announcements, told us about the company, told us how well sales flow is going. If you're not thinking about recruiting when you do a couple of those endless leads, 2 people in the last 2 days have signed up with Justin just simply because he did the demo. Think about that. Not the people on the call, the people he pulled up with his search criteria, signed up. They sent him a message back, says, great, Justin, I'm in, count me in, I'll sign up. Okay, so let that be a lesson. And Justin was like, what? They want to sign up? That wasn't my mission. My mission was to show you how to do it. Okay, but using sales flow does work just like that. Now,
You know what you should have told Mary? Even a blind squirrel can find a nut every once in a while.
Yeah.
So in your 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you choose to do sales flow, most of you on this call have unlimited leads. Okay, unlimited does not mean, oh, I used 1,000, I don't have any more. Use 1,000 a day. When you use 1,000 a day, use 2,000 the next day. Okay.
But you're going to have to see a hand surgeon about your finger.
Yeah, point, click, copy, paste, rinse, repeat, do. Okay. So when you're using your sales flow, if you use your custom message for your primary business, or if you're using this as a Nowsite energy, money making energy for you, slide your referral link in there a couple of times, okay? To a couple of those. So if you're not just, you're hitting different people for different reasons. Also understand that only 10 accounts a year will get that information. Okay. So if 5 of them pulled it up and deleted it, that only leaves 5 people left in Nowsite that can touch them this year. If one's doing electricity, one's doing plumbing, one's doing lawn care, one's doing solar, oh, one person may do Nowsite. Okay. So do not delete your leads. You can also use them again the next 6 months later and say, hey, I'd like to introduce you to this. Your product A came first, your product B came second. Third, let's just connect. We're all humans. Okay, we're in business for ourselves, but wait a minute, not by ourselves in this group. And that means the entire Nowsite. Okay. You cannot transfer your leads to somebody else. That's a no.
No, what you actually want to do is you want to set up a ghost website to create a ghost list. And you want to just basically make that an archive file. And then just move them over to an archive file. So you've got them, nobody else gets them. And you may want to go back to them in 6 months and launch a different campaign and have them
You
go on.
mean within you mean within Nowsite an archive file?
Yep, yeah, archive file within Nowsite.
Make
Would
that
you
your
explain
list.
how to do that in a little while?
Yeah, we're gonna do that in a little while because I mean, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a demo this morning, folks, because and I had a long discussion with Justin about this last night, and he totally agrees with me. But when they present Nowsite, and it does work. I mean, the sales flow does work. I mean, it works for me. I've gotten business off it already as well. But what you got to do is you got to remember is that it's more than just clicking and getting prospects. There's a lot that goes on underneath that. And if you don't understand what's going on underneath you and what that happens, then sales flow, you'll have all these prospects, but they'll be just that, prospects, unless you manage them correctly. So one of the things I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And I'm going to go ahead and do a sales flow demo. And we're going to
Hang
walk.
on, Steve, just
Sure.
one quick second before you leave for the demo, because I'm still going to be back on yesterday for just one more minute.
Yeah, go ahead, because I got to pull the site up anyway.
Cheryl left me several of these got leads, ball caps. If anybody in the team would like a cap that did not get it in either Atlanta, Houston, or Vegas that's tonight, let us know. I don't have a lot of them, but I do have 5 or 6 of them, okay?
I'm in, Mary.
Okay.
How do we get them?
Yeah, tell me you want them and make sure I have your mailing address.
Well, that makes sense.
Put it in the chat, private message me, text me, whatever it is, so I can get you a hat out.
All right.
Mary, you really did an amazing job at the event last night.
Thank you. I personally, I did not realize that room was all glass. And that's part the reason why I'm moving slow today.
Yeah, I actually thought it was going to be outside.
Now, I made sure we were inside when I got there too.
I'm very familiar with that restaurant, so I know when you said patio, I thought outside.
Okay, got my screen up and we're sharing now. Okay. So this is my site. So when you actually sign on to Nowsite and you log in, it of course defaults to sales flow right here. And of course, what we're told, and is correct, is you want to set up your targeting criteria here. So actually, Bruce George is on this call with me right now. I actually had done this earlier with him where we set up that he's looking for people who are cable cutters, free TV, streaming video, Roku, Chromecast, voice over and all protocol, because that's what he does. He has a multi-level marketing program called IPTV, which is pretty darn cool. For basically $49 a month, you can get premium channels like Showtime and everything else. And it's all legal. And so he's on the call. Bruce, you may want to put your contact information there in the chat if somebody wants to know how to get a hold of you. Okay, you can pay me later for that commercial. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go get a prospect. Now, What they don't tell you when they're showing you Nowsite and getting prospects, when I get a prospect, okay, and we got Dan Brubaker here, okay? Now, a couple of things just happened. One, that is now in my contacts. It's now, his information is now in my contact management program. I didn't do anything, it just automatically placed it there, which is good. So it's kind of sitting out there on its own little island, attached to nothing. It's just out there as a prospect. It's not attached to a website. It's not attached to a list. It's not attached to a newsletter. None of that's attached. So when you go to view contact, the first thing you've got to do before you do anything else is go up here and choose lists. Now, how does a list get there? When you create a website on the platform, not only do you create a website, you also create a list. You also create a template to the newsletter, and you also create a link to the social media tool. When you build a website, all that happens. You build a website, repeat again, it creates a list, it creates a newsletter, and it attaches you to your social media platform tool. So if you have a prospect, you have to have some place to put it. If you're trying to, whatever that prospect's for, so for example, in the case of Bruce, Bruce has got a website set up for IPTV. So when I look over on his list, there's a list that says IPTV.now.site list. I want to attach that prospect to that list. So in my case, I'm going to attach it to my prospects list. Now we're on my site, not his, so it's actually for Nowsite. And I'm gonna go ahead and do this because Miss Susan asked me to do this earlier. So I'm gonna show her how to do this. Now once I've got them on the list, then I want to go back to additional info. Now at this point I have a choice. I can read through all the information right here, and maybe I got enough to make sure that, yeah, this guy's a qualified prospect. But I don't really want to waste an enhanced contact yet till I start a conversation with them. So we're not going to enhance the contact. What we're going to do now is, this is a good contact. Let's go ahead and launch Sales Flow. So we're going to follow the magenta road. And in this case, I'm going to use email. Now, of course, you have the ability to use the message library and choose a message that you want to send. You can also do things with those messages. You can change the objective of the message, connect, build rapport, introduce a product, present, and everything else. So in this case, I'm going to introduce a product. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Nowsite to this guy. And maybe, who knows, we may get a new customer out of here. So I'm going to go ahead, direct, right here, I'm going to collect. I'm going to select. Now, there's the message back in my box. It already put my affiliate link in here. So I don't have to have my affiliate link. Once he clicks on this, we're good to go, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this down a little bit to make it a little bit more personalized. I'm going to move my affiliate link down here. And wherever my cursor is where my attachment's going to go. So I move my cursor down here. I'm going to add an attachment. And Susan, this is what you were asking about. It automatically defaults to the video for the Sales Flow Challenge. This is the one that Mary was just talking about a few minutes ago. This is the video that Justin sent where the two guys signed up seeing just the video. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to add it. Now, but say I have some other things. You can add and send them to check a website out. So there's all my websites. You can do team links where you can send them to any teams that you belong to. And these are all the teams I belong to. Or I can send them to my links or my files. And so, for example, maybe I had an ebook or a PDF that I wanted to send to them. I could go select files. Oh, and let's just go pick, here's a PDF right here. And I can just do that. And now that PDF will now be stored in my files if I want to use it continuously. So if you have a brochure or an ebook or something like that, you can put it there. But I'm not going to use this, so I'm just going to delete it. Okay. Now we already know that we've already got him attached on sales on the links. So we want him to have sales flow. So we're going to have that added. And then there's the URL down here for him to watch that video. It says check out this short video. There's the video link. Bingo. Going to go ahead and send it to him.
Also, that's cookied, so that's his unique link. You will get a message on your phone that, I'm sorry, I missed the person's name, just opened and watched your video.
Now my intent here was to introduce a product or opportunity. So I know, remember what I did with him. And I'm just going to make a note, said sent sales flow video. And then I'm going to go, okay. And it'll trigger me. I can go back in 7 days and we can see if we can get reattached. And if I don't hear from him sooner, because he may look at that video now. And if he does, Nowsite is going to generate an email to me saying that this gentleman watched my video. What do I want to do then? I want to get right back on here and I want to send him another message. And I want to set up an appointment.
Steve, when you sent the message, I think you were going to do it in LinkedIn.
No, I did it as an email, but you can do the same thing in LinkedIn.
When I click on LinkedIn, it opens up the contacts information in LinkedIn, but it doesn't do the message. So I asked.
Oh, no, you have to go one more step.
Yeah, you have to paste it.
Paste it.
Yes.
But do you highlight it first or does
No.
it
Nope.
automatically?
Yeah, just you put the cursor there, put paste, and it'll pop right in there.
And you also, can I ask you a question about the lists? You said you have a lot of lists. How does it automatically know which list to put it in?
No, you have to put it in the list you want to put
All
it
right. But you have to create a website if you want a new list.
in. Exactly. Now you
There's
can
no
create.
There's no way to create a list by itself.
Well, no, not really. So what you have to do is you can go in, I call them ghost sites. So I can just go in there and say like, well, Snap Delivery, okay? I don't want to create, I want to start talking to people about Snap Delivery. I want to start messaging them, but I want to use, say, Snap Delivery's website to send them there. I can
You
go
want to
ahead
say what? What you want to say? What? I didn't
send
hear
them
you.
to Snap Delivery's website to send them there because you don't want to build one yourself. You want to use theirs.
Yeah.
All you would do is go in and you would use the blank template. Here, I'll show you. Go into websites, add a new website, click on the blank template, and we'll just call this Snap. Call the website Snap. And then we're going to put the URL is going to be Snap. Hopefully it's not taken. Nope. Okay. And we'll just put whatever category it is right now, which is basically food restaurant. Oh, it's already in use, so let's go ahead and put 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Have a good
So
weekend.
then the subcategory we're supposed to have mood is food delivery. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say
Help
next.
yourself.
Now, all I have is a blank website, right, Susan? There's nothing here. If I just go ahead and say save and exit, the website's been created. Now, if I go back over here to contacts, there's my snap list right there.
Okay,
And I can start doing everything.
okay. Thank you.
So right now what I'm going to do is, because I don't need that, I'm just going to go, well, let me delete it till I get it finished and hook everything up. Okay. So that's, that's how you create a ghost site to create a list to get everything
But you
working.
don't have to fill out any of the particular design elements at all.
No, you don't.
Thank you.
So save and exit. Here we go. Oh, page
You have to put something on it. You either have to drag over a headline, click on the pencil. You've deleted the website name and the URL, Steve.
Can everyone please mute?
No, you still have to put something on the page. Drag a picture over or grab the headline. No, put something in the heading.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do this before.
Who?
I exited it before.
I know it's
We
a
got
new
Bean.
step.
Bruce, can you please mute your,
Steve, do you have the controls?
Yeah, but I'm not there because everything's sideways right now. Let me just let me stop sharing. Okay, everybody's muted now. Okay. So, but that's basically how to use it, okay? And doing that. Any questions on that? Did that help with understanding it?
Yes, very much so. Thanks.
That's what I mean. And see, that's the problem. When they, and I hate to use this term, sell it.
Are you and Mary going to do a video of just
Yes.
that?
Yeah, tomorrow.
And when will it be posted?
Tomorrow. Or next day. I have to edit. I have to do some editing on it. It takes me about an hour.
Thank
Before
you.
Monday.
Yeah.
Give us a little grace.
But we're going to do that one. We're also going to do a couple other little ones too, a couple short ones on some other stuff. One of the things too is that, and Bruce is on here right now. There's unless you look on Nowsite on YouTube, they just posted a video finally on how to connect a domain, and they use GoDaddy as an example. So what I'm going to do is, instead of us doing it, I've found that video and I'm going to go ahead and post it on our site so you can have it, because it's pretty clear on how to do it. And then Bruce just texted me and said that he just got his redirected, his .com address redirected through GoDaddy using the site. So we're good.
Steve,
Yeah.
Steve, when you talk about connecting a domain, essentially, what does that mean?
What it does is you actually say, for example, in your case, you've got your consulting domain, Richard, right?
Yes.
But say you want to get rid of that website and you want to create another one on Nowsite, right? But you don't want to pay for the one, say, on GoDaddy anymore. So you're going to cancel that service.
Got it.
But you still retain your email address. You can still retain your email address, and you can still retain your domain, your URL. All you do is you go into GoDaddy and you go in the DNS part of it. And then what you do is you do a redirect to the .now.site. And that way you can continue to use that .com. But when they put in that .com address, your Nowsite website will appear. So you don't lose that .com address.
Right. But you essentially have to rebuild the website in Nowsite.
Yes. Unfortunately, we can't duplicate the site yet and just drag and drop them in.
Now, however, we can still take your content off of that and mirror it to this. It's not a easy drag and drop, but if you still have your pictures up there that you want before you close your GoDaddy account to forward it to Nowsite, let's get some screenshots of what you already have so that we have a template to build your Nowsite page with.
Yeah,
If that's still relevant conversation.
Yeah, I literally mirrored a site for another client a couple weeks ago, and there's a couple offline programs you have to use. One's like image color picker and a bunch of stuff to match up the colors and the fonts and stuff like that. But you can actually have those in tabs above you when you're doing it. And I literally had his .com website, side by side with the other one, and I literally rebuilt that five-page website in about 2 hours, and it's almost identical. And did that. So yeah, like Mary said, you can mirror it and it can be done, absolutely. And doing things like that. Okay, so that was one of the things. Hey, welcome, Bridget. I see Bridget's joined us this morning. Saw Bridget there last night.
Hello.
Got to meet Bridget in person last night. Yes, I did.
Yes, indeed. It was good to see everybody.
Yes, it was. Yeah, she came all the way up there from Katy.
Along with Miss Jacqueline.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that was one of the things I really, because Mary and I both have been running into a lot of clarification on Nowsite, sales flow, and people don't realize just how complex and interconnected it is, where you have to have all those pieces in place and ready to go before you actually start going after your prospects. The other thing too that I didn't cover is after you build the website, the newsletter, and you have your list in place, and you decide to put a drip email campaign together, and it's attached to one of those lists and it's actually sending already, any new contact that you add to that list will automatically start on the first email on that drip campaign, and it will start dripping it to them.
So please do not put dates in your emails.
Exactly. So, I mean, like I said, there's a lot going on underneath the surface that you're not aware of, because I had one client about a week ago said, well, somebody responded to my drip email campaign and I don't even remember who they were. I don't remember putting them on there. So we went into the list and I said, is that the guy? And he goes, yeah. I said, well, as soon as you put them on the list, the drip email campaign started. And doing that. So, I mean, if you don't want them on, if you don't want them to get a drip email yet, find a new list, like an archive list or a parked list or a holding pattern list or something, till you've decided what you want to do with that prospect. If you don't have the infrastructure already set up to do that. Okay.
I do have one other thing to say. I know we're getting close to the bottom of the hour where we turn it over to you. Some of you may have missed this announcement, and I understand we got a lot coming at us from corporate now. If you recruit 3 people before Tuesday, this started back on Monday. So if you've already added somebody that bought sales flow and unlimited leads, that was a total of $87. You got paid $30 and $30 upfront bonus commission paid out in PayPal the next day. Okay. Signing up 3 people before Tuesday, which leaves from Monday the 13th through Tuesday the 21st, they will double that. So instead of 160, you'll get 380. You want some cash? That's how you're going to do it right now. Plus, you also get your residual income coming in for the month for recruiting them. And at 3, if you're brand new, you are now a full-fledged affiliate.
Which means you're now making positive cash flow.
Okay, you pay 87 for the system, you're going to get 60 back. Actually, you're going to get 120 back if you do 3 new signups. Okay, So the tracking of how you send somebody to sales flow that Steve just did, there's your ticket from now till Tuesday. Do what he just did. Attach your sales flow video, attach your sales flow link. Remind them, put leads in, add the leads, and you too will have new people on your team signing up.
Yeah, Mary Jacqueline just put in the chat that an email came out this morning that it's been extended.
Very good. Sorry.
Thanks, Jacqueline.
Thank you, Miss J. You're keeping me on my toes. Had not read email yet. My little raccoon eyes haven't read much, okay, but I did get here.
So yeah, really, the nice thing last night. Oh, also, Mary, did you get any of those certificates?
Yeah.
So we might want to share those too.
Sounds like a no.
No, I'm not going to mail these because it won't do any good to mail them to you because I don't know what the expiration date is. Okay. Fastest, easiest lead generation system ever. Free leads for their first month, a value of $37.50. The coupon code is Sales Flow Go. All together. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, so you don't need the coupon. If you just put in the promo code when they sign them up, you'll give them their first month of leads free. So that would go over there when you sign them up and they subscribe, and they choose that they want well, wait a minute. Okay, that brings in an interesting question, Mary.
I know. I'm already ahead of you on that
You
question.
can't put two codes in there.
They cannot put two codes in there, but this one supersedes the leads code. They get it for free for their first 30 days. They will be billed $37.50 the following month.
Okay, so you use this, they still get the 37, they still get the unlimited leads. They just won't be billed till the following month.
Correct.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Because you're still trying to get them to the unlimited leads. So it just supersedes that code.
So the promo code to use for the next least week or so will be Sales Flow Go. And that way they get the unlimited leads as well as a first month as a gift. So that's a nice little pass along that you can provide your subscriber with.
So if you would like to do a Facebook or a message live today saying, hey, if you're in marketing, I got a sweet offer to give you, only if you'll reply me below. Okay. Take a hand off my page. I'll do that today. Yes, you may copy me. I do not mind. Okay. So when you're doing promotions, when you're doing something, hey, I've got a free gift for you. No obligation. If you like it, you keep it. If you don't like it, you've tried it.
And then the other thing I wanted to bring up too is, it seems like it would be easy to subscribe to Nowsite and get set up. But as you know, Mary and I actually send out a pre-checklist to get you ready because there's a lot of stuff that, so you're not bobbling around and everything else. Mary and I also recommend that if you haven't signed up somebody before, at least the first couple of times, please let us know. And if we can, we'll jump on a Zoom call with you and your potential subscriber, and we'll help walk you through getting them subscribed correctly and get set up at least in that first attempt, so that at least we've got some basics in place, like connecting their email and connecting their Facebook and
Go on.
and just so everything is in place, because there is no manual on that.
Not yet.
Not yet. And if
Okay,
you don't,
so
yeah.
When you use Steve and I in that, if you take away our power, it's the principle of the three-way call. Don't go, oh, Steve, don't forget that. Oh, Steve, don't forget that. It takes the education piece off of your new prospect. Because they're going to like, well, why'd you bother them? Why'd you call them? Because I'm still learning. Okay. Take their questions, write it down. If you need to, get with us after that call.
Yeah.
We're more than glad to sit there with you, but please don't try, if you put us on that three-way, don't take our power back away from showing them around the system. That's all we ask.
Yeah. Okay, now we're open up for Q&A. And don't be shy. Unmute yourself and please ask away, or your suggestions like for these sessions. If you'd like to see something else, like, do you want to watch us build a website one day, or do you want us to watch us build a email campaign or something like that for you in real time? So whatever you'd like, we can do that for you, or we can share experiences, successes. And I've actually got one I can share this morning for you with that actually Gary Oliver had that was at the meeting last night. And he's just ecstatic about the results he's getting. So if you haven't got any questions, I'll go ahead and share a success story. So while you're doing that, Mary, why don't you talk to him about, what do you call it? Your new Calendarly. You've got one now too.
Yes, it will be on the team page today so that you can actually go out and book with me as well. Calendar link, not on the top of my head at the moment, but it will be on the team page. Please feel free to open the calendar and book on times. Remember, I am not a first in the morning person. So if you get closer to 10 or 11, you're going to have a better success rate. So if you want an 8 o'clock call in the morning, where is he? Call Steve.
Yeah, I'm the early bird.
He's the early one. I'm the late one. So if you send me an email or a text at 11 o'clock at night, you'll probably get an answer from me. I'm not going to say Steve's always up at 11. Okay. So those links are there for you to book one-on-one time, demo times, put in the memo what you need, what the hour or 30 minutes is going to be for, and we go from there.
Okay, I want to share with you. Hey, George, Bruce, can you mute, please? There you go. Okay, so what I want to share with you is we launched an email campaign for Gary Oliver, and Gary Oliver, besides being an insurance agent, also works with a company called UFF, and so we put an email campaign together for him and targeting real estate agents. And as you can see right here, to date, over the last 2 days, we've sent 1,935 emails out. He's had 274 opens. He's had 62 of those click through to his website. And he's already got several appointments set up through his website. And he only had a total of 17 unsubscribes. Now,
And
John,
0 bounces.
yep. Well, John, you saw this yesterday, right? Because we showed it on the BBX call. Look how much more it's grown just since yesterday. And 0 bounces. Now, one of the reasons we have the 0 bounces is we actually got the list from a company I use that guarantees 100% valid email addresses. And this distributor right here shows you we had 0 bounces, which means every one of those emails we sent out was good.
And there's 4 emails in the series.
Yes, here, I'll show them to you.
Was that the same list on the seminar?
Yes. So here we go. So here's the email drip campaign that I built for Gary. So the first one here is just a general email, talks about it. And if you click on here, it takes you to his website. Then 4 days later, that's the one they just received. In about 2 days, or was it, tomorrow, we'll start sending this one.
It's already started going out, Steve.
Yep. So right here. And then this one actually takes you to a video that talks to about what it is, as well as to the website. Then the next one is going to go here, another 3 days. Here's the email. Here's 2 different choices, learn more or watch the video again. And then finally, 3 days later, this one here will go out. It'll be the final one. And it says in here, I put up here in the red banner, we do not mean to be a bother. However, a professional like yourself will really be down if your competitor is already using this amazing technology. And then it goes in a little bit more, and then right here, click through to see it again. And that'll be the final one before it ends. But as we can see, you're right, Mary, it's already starting to click out on these other ones now.
Now, maybe on your 5th email that you send to them, you may want them to say, hey, I still want to retain more information on this. Fill out your name again.
Yep. On the website, there is everywhere on the website that we send them to, there are form fills too
Okay.
on those.
And that becomes another list as well. So the weaving of lists can be a spider web.
Yes.
I use, and I talk often about Sam Walton, who started Walmart. You're not just selling one thing, you're selling you that's there for every occasion. And if you are like I am, which is a serial entrepreneur, okay, I started as an entrepreneur the day before I turned 5. I normally say we because I'm a twin. We grew up in retail. My parents opened the first gun store in the city of Bel Air back in 75, I'm sorry. And it's always been, you need this and you need that. It doesn't matter what the service or the product is. A human being needs multiple things. You need a phone, you need a pen, you need a charger, you need water. Okay. Those are different sources that you bring everything together in. And if you do something like the store, and I'm building Bird Store right now, .now.site, it needs a little bit more work, but I've been distracted trying to get this Houston event yesterday. So that's one of my priorities, is to get that done by next week, to start sending people to the different avenues and different things I offer without saying, here's a product, here's a product, here's a service. What do you need? It's going to be more of what fits what you need at the moment. What's hurting you at the moment? Is it marketing? Is it digital? Is it mail? Is it, what area can I help you with that I have a resource for? If you market and corner yourself to the people you're talking to as a resource that can find other and connect the dots with somebody else, you are more valuable as a networker in that arena. Doesn't say I have it all. It says I know who does it all. Okay. So it may be a whole list. If you need a title change from your boat, RV, or your vehicle, there's a service I refer you to. They come back to me for something and then your title gets done. You need a notary in the state of Texas, I can provide that for you. Okay. You want to become a notary, I can do that too. Okay. So there's a wide variety of things that I just mentioned in there that I probably have not mentioned on any other call. Okay. So understand, you're not one size fits all. This is not the only thing you do, and this is not what you're described by. Okay.
Okay, last thing I think before we sign off here, Mary. Let's because Richard asked about the integration with LinkedIn in the chat.
Sorry, I'm not reading the chat.
Okay, so let's go over what Justin said about integration with Gmail contacts, Outlook contacts, and LinkedIn here in the next 2 weeks.
Go ahead.
So basically what he said is, like right now when we have to import contacts, we have to put them into like a put it in a specific file format out of Excel, and we go ahead and we import it. The way it's going to be done, Richard, is it's going to be on the platform where you will go and it will grab your contacts in Gmail or your contacts in Outlook or your contacts in LinkedIn, and will export them direct into your database.
All 8 or 9,000 of them in one shot.
Yep.
As easy as it was to connect your Facebook and LinkedIn account to Nowsite, it is also going to be that easy for them to gather and gain that access to your LinkedIn profiles.
And the database, once they come in, they will become mineable databases, Rob.
Yeah, so you can cut out all the overseas people that you've been trying to. Can you search like US only and things like
you
that?
can,
Are you guessing?
there'll be all kinds of searchable filters in there, yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that'll all be in there in 2 weeks. Does that answer your question, Richard?
You're on mute, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes, thank you. The only other question I had is, can we do the same thing from a smartphone, from the contacts?
I don't know if
from,
I don't know if it's
Android,
going to be on.
iOS.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be on the app yet, but it's usually on the desktop first and then migrates to the app.
Yeah, got it.
I'm going to
That's
give you a yes, but it's going to take a little bit longer than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's on the board to be done.
And question I had in terms of a kind of a simple enhancement, when you, is there a way, or will there be a way planned to actually save your search criteria?
On sales flow,
Yeah. To save it and name it.
Yeah, you could literally, yeah, that's a great point, Richard, because you could, like, if you have in your back office already where you have my messages where they're stored, why couldn't you have your own library of my search criteria stored? Let's bring that up on the call this afternoon, Mary.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, this way you wouldn't have to recreate them. You can save them as templates and then, just rerun it. The other question I had is, it's right now, it's you basically, when you import it, when you import it, when you get a lead, it's a one-to-one thing, right? There's no way you can like push a button and get 100 leads that you can curate in a grid view or something like that. You do them one by one.
Yeah,
Is there a reason for that, or?
Yeah, I think the explanation is that as Murray said earlier in the in this broadcast, that one person you download will only be shared with 9 other people in the world, and then he goes away as a prospect. So if you have them, 9 other people will get them, regardless of where they are, and then after that, he's no longer in the pool to get as a prospect
For another year.
for another year.
Really?
So that's actually helping you out because, and that's why we're saying, if he doesn't turn out or she does not turn out to be a good prospect, don't delete them. Create an archive list and archive them. Because if you delete him, he's going to go back into the pool again.
As still only 9 more people going to get that person for a year, because just because you pulled it does not mean that other person in Nowsite's going to get that. It only is triggered for 9 pulls or 10 pulls. So you've pulled it. 9 other people can pull it in a 12-month span. There's 2 billion contacts in this lead generation system.
Okay, with that, it is.
Frank,
11 Go ahead,
did you?
No, you answered the question. Thank you.
Okay, it's 11:57, and we're going to go ahead and stop the recording. Thank you, everyone, from today showing up again. If you want to see the recording of this broadcast, you can go to aiwecareteam.now.site, and it will be posted in our video team section on that. With that, we'll say goodbye, and thank you, everybody, for joining this morning.